So I'm going to do something a little strange today. I have, what year is this thing? 2008? Yeah, I think it's a 2008 Toyota 4Runner 4x4, SR4, whatever they call this thing. It's the big 4x4 Toyota. Anyway, yeah, it's not a RAV4, it's a 4Runner. So, this doesn't have any digital plug-ins. Like this little thing right here is a digital plug-in. A lot of new cars have them, this don't. So to get to a digital plug-in, you have to go through a cigarette lighter. Well, in this car, to get to the cigarette lighter, you have to open this little box, flip this little box up, and then put this down into that, which means that you're driving around with this open and this thing sticking up here. And I want to power that dash cam on the dash, and I want to power, you know, what else? Anything else? May not be anything else. Seems like I had a couple things plugged into that. This is a phone charger. That's what this is. So it'd be nice if I had a plug-in that wasn't there, and on top of that, this one doesn't work, even though the fuse, which on this car is a 10 amp fuse, and it's right here. On this car, the fuse is good, but even though the fuse is good, it still don't work. So what I think I'm going to do is I have this thing. This is a triple decker plug-in for this kind of plug-in right there. And I think I'm going to take it. It's actually made to plug in also. So I think what I'm going to do is take the wire out and wire it directly into this fuse holder, put an inline fuse in it, ground the other side, run it across over there, and then mount it. I got enough wire to come that far, yeah, and then maybe mount it over here somewhere. Like if that was, oh, I forgot, I gotta hold y'all over here, don't I? See, if that was right there, I could plug all my stuff into it without having my dash be open. Or even if I moved it, let's say if I moved it up here, I had it in the RV. We used to have a plug up here, and that would be even easier because I could run from here down to there. I could catch the fire. I didn't see any other open line that I could connect to, but if I put a fuse there and then replace that with an inline fuse, I'd still have a fuse, but I could get the fire out of that. Unless I find a better place to find a hot place to connect a wire, I'm going to do that. So we will proceed. Okay, so here's what I was talking about, and this actually comes off a battery tender. And the way the battery tender works is you hook the ground and the hot wire to the battery, and it has an inline fuse. This is a 7.5 amp fuse, but I'm sure the holder would hold one as big as a 10 amp fuse. And on the other end, this is a 2-prong plug. Now this type of 2-prong plug is something we used to use all the time in the trucking industry, because we would have to take our CB radios out. Get this out of here. Looks like that. We would have to take our CB radios out, take them home with us, then when we went back on the road, we'd plug them back in. I should have a plug like that. So what I can do literally is straight wire and change this plug so I can run wire straight into that fuse. I can put a 10 amp fuse here in the line. I'd need to ground this into that, and then I can bring this to any point in the vehicle where I want to plug in that box that I had in my hand just a minute ago with the plugs on it. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. So with that said, I'll hush talking and I'll wire that up, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it some more. I want to look and see. Here's another one. I can tell because I got a lot of these because I don't usually use that, but see, here's another one with that double fuse line like this. So I can literally take this one off and plug it into that, take that and wire it into my holder that I had in my hand a while ago, that I laid down somewhere. I'm sure none of y'all do this, lay something down, can't find it. No, y'all don't do that. I'm the only one that does that, I'm pretty sure. So, I didn't put it in here, did I? Oh, so much to keep up with. Anyway, I'll find all my pieces and parts. I'll wire it together. I'll get it working, and then I'll come back and get you, and then I'll show you what I did. So what I did to make my end, instead of cutting my wire, is you'll remember that this wire had a little round thing. It looks like this on it. Well, I took that thing and I folded both sides down. I folded it together and I clamped it. So what I have here now is a little piece that can be pushed up into that fuse holder, right where the old fuse would have gone. And then I can ground this right here. There's a bolt that holds this plastic piece in right here that works for a ground. So literally I should be able to push this up in there. Well, maybe I can do this with you sitting on the seat there. Let's just see what happens. So technically I should be able to push that in as if it were a fuse. And now I should have fire. Let me ground this onto that. So I should have fire here. So let's do this. I'm going to touch that and turn the switch on. I need more hands than what I have here. See, now can you see? See that light came on? Okay, anyway, I got fire there. I should have fire here or here. I do. And I should be able to ground here, so I got my key on still. See, when the key is off, that won't have fire in it. So I can connect, I can stick this wire down under here like this, and then for sure this is going to be a 10 millimeter bolt. I'll take it loose and put that on it and put it back in there, and that'll give me a ground. I'm going to pull my key out and stop making that ringing noise, which is driving me crazy. Now I'm going to take that, put it onto that, and put that right back up in there. I don't know if this fuse is any good or not here. Let's just check. So if we go and put the key back in, turn the key back on, now we should have fire. There's no fire there because that's going to be the ground side. The hot side is going to be the side that's inside of here. The reason for that is that this is flop around inside of a truck. With the hot side up in this insulated side, it won't make sparks and set your truck on fire. This side is the ground, so technically I should be able to hook this ground side to that. And I don't want to touch these two things. Of course, this stick here is insulated, so that'll help me not do that. And I should be able to stick this in here and have my voltage right there, which is perfect. Now, next thing I want to do is hide this wire. Actually, I want to run it down in there. I want to run this whole thing down inside there. And I'm probably going to put a bigger fuse. Well, I know I am. That's a 7.5. The cigarette lighter had a 10. I believe I could go to a 15 and wouldn't do any harm. Because if you think about it, I've got a 3-prong plug up there. I may be running more than one thing at a time. So I'll go ahead and put my 15 amp fuse in there. Give me a second. Just as a disclaimer, I'm going to say that I'm not a professional electrician. I'm an old ex-truck driver. I learned my wiring skills from wiring CB radios in Mack trucks. So if you think about doing anything that I'm doing and you set your car on fire or burn your car up or short out your computer, I hereby state officially that I will not be responsible for any misdeeds or bad happenings that are a result of you paying attention to what I say. In fact, I strongly recommend you not pay attention to what I say, because I could be wrong. Now, I'm going to double check this again. So I got the 15 amp fuse in that. Here's my light tester going in the other side. That way my key's not on. See, that's a good thing. I don't want power in that when the key's not on. So even though it's a hassle to keep turning this on, that's the kind of spot I want to be using. I don't want fire to be in this system unless the key's on. And there it is right there, if you can see that. Right there. Okay, so now I can stick that whole thing down through here and have it come out from under the dash. I'm going to put it underneath a wire, because see, that ground wire is right now running out this hole, and I'm going to push it down in there where it comes out in the back side of here, and that way all of this can stay up in here like this. I can put the cover right back on that, and then if I ever need to plug this plug in, I'll have it right here. See, right here. Now what I'll probably do is kind of shove this up in here. Then I'll put another plug and we'll go right up through here and attach it to my thing up there. See, this is where my little wire thingy is. And we'll get another thing to plug into that. We'll run it up this crack right up to here, and then we'll wire this thing up here onto that. Okay, so now that's plugged in and you can see that it's making contact. Now on these type of connectors, this outside is the ground. That little thing down inside there is the part that needs to be hot, because on these plugs, these two side parts, ground, and this is the hot part. So if I plug this into that now, that should have come on and it did not. Oh, yep, there it goes. Okay, so now that camera is working off of this. So what I can do is I can unplug this. I can run this up here, set this up on my dash and hide this wire. I can bring that wire, set that up here. I can bring that wire, which right now runs up in here and down through there. I can actually hide it in the crack, bring it up and plug it in over here. I hope that was helpful. I know that was a lot, but there's a lot of pieces and parts. I started to actually make a video of soldering wire together, and I was thinking, oh, there's a lot of people out there that can show you how to solder wire. And I always solder wire because it's the only real way I know to make sure that I got a good connection. So by doing that now, I have created a place where I can plug in, but also I should be able to plug in my phone, because see, I can plug this in and then get a phone connection off of that. This thing here actually has, that might actually be a phone connection on this. Let's see, that wire could go right there. Yeah, that's what that is. So actually with this I can also eliminate that. I put that in a Rambler because I got a cigarette lighter in the Rambler, but I don't have a place to plug in things. So okay, that should do it. Y'all have a nice day. That's good. So I'll show you this one more thing. You see, this is where this runs out, but up along here, you can literally take your finger and just stick that right in behind that door molding right there, see? And that way, it gets your wire up here, and then you don't have all that mess running across the car over there. So just a final shot. There's my camera working. You got the wire run across here. I actually wrapped it up like a hangman's noose, plugged it in right there. And my phone is charging off the white line that runs out of there. And I pretty much, well, I could see this is still movable, so I can move it around.